We've got a little bit of Big Mick energy here for us. Hey, Mick Conlan, how you doing?
All good, mate. All good. How's things?
I'm all right, man. I'm starting to go a little bit nuts with the old self-isolating. What about yourself?
It's probably a bit worse for myself. I was just stuck in the house, and the kids can't really get out to do anything or anything, so it's you know a bit of craziness all the time. But it's good. Listen, I'm enjoying it at the same time because I'm not used to being home. I'm always away. I'm always in training and stuff, so I'm around more, which isn't very often.
Yeah, and I'm sure the family are absolutely loving the fact that you're about. They've got your head tortured.
Nah, well, I'm honest, the missus probably hating the fact that I'm home so much now. She's not used to me being home as much, so it's probably driving her a bit stir crazy. She's in the background doing the dishes, like smirking here, so I know I'm telling the truth.
I find that like since this has happened, I think I'm on like week 3 of this now. That I've put together every pair of socks that I've had, and I've been cleaning out kitchen cupboards and reorganizing them. Like, what's the sort of what have you been filling your days with?
Um, well, yesterday I started to do the garden, which I've said I would do for since I ever moved into this house, and I have never done it once. So I started to do a bit of gardening. But my main thing I've been doing is baking. I've been baking cakes.
So,
I'm not lying. I know I have a job after boxing, so I'm happy. I'm good at it. I know I am.
like I saw a picture of a cheesecake that you did, and it's the most
Yep.
fatty looking cheesecake. Like, I mean, you've got like little broken bits of Kinder Bueno up on the top of it, and it's about that big. Like, it's luxurious.
Yeah, listen. There's no point doing anything healthy if I'm thinking about after boxing. If I'm not a boxer, why do I want to be healthy? I've been healthy all my life. I can eat some junk now. So no point to going soft, go hard or go home.
Is that like the first thing that you crave after a fight? Like, obviously you finish the fight, you've been in, like, sort of almost like food lockdown where
Yeah,
you have to eat
yeah.
healthy. As soon as you finish, like, the next day or whatever, you straight into the New York cheesecake.
Nah, not so much cheesecake. I do love cheesecake, but I just love anything kind of sweet. Like when I'm in New York, when we're over in Boston, New York, because most of my fights have been there. I love the cannolis, the Italian kind of dessert, which is unbelievable. You can't really get them here, and if you do, they're not nowhere near as good. And they're nowhere near as good in New York as they are in Italy. So it's that's the kind of thing I love right away. But anything sweet, really. I love cake. I just love cake, and whether it's cheesecake, Madeira cake, every cake, I'm a fan of.
I like to think that, like, you might not be the same weight class when you go back to boxing. Like, when this all sort of eventually comes to an end, you might have to,
Well,
like, cut some serious weight.
I will have to cut weight 100%, but I have a gym in the garage, so I'm still able to train every day, which is good. I'll try not to let myself go too far above. I'm sitting around usually what I sit at now when I'm just out of training camp before I have to go back in. So it's kind of my natural body weight is around one 148, 149
Yeah.
pounds. So kilograms, that would be around 66 and a half maybe.
Like, when Tyson Fury has to go and cut weight, he had to cut, like, I don't know how many of you he had to cut, like, but
Yeah,
he had to cut.
it was around 1.5 or 2. So he cut an awful lot of weight. I think he cut around 200 pounds, wasn't it? So if he's cutting 200 pounds, that's almost two of me.
That's
So
ridiculous.
I fight at 126. My son wants to jump into the
Which
camera
which
here.
wait, what's the son's name?
Michael Jr. I'm the only
Michael
person in
Jr.
the family has their son named after him, so that's why I done it.
is
He's saying
Michael
hello.
is Michael Jr. going to grow up to be a boxer, a
Not a
footballer, a
not.
baker?
He'll never ever be a boxer, and that's the truth. I'll never let my son box. I've done it so he doesn't need to. I've took the punches in the head so he doesn't need to. That's my kind of look at it, because if I'm going to be honest about boxing, when you break it down, what it is you're selling brain cells. let's be honest, you're selling brain cells for other people's entertainment. So why would I let my son do that when I've went and done it? You know what I mean? And I've achieved an awful lot, but and this gives me the life I have, which I'm very very grateful for. But boxing is a very very dangerous sport, and as an amateur, even you don't realize this, and even when you go pro, you don't realize this. But once you start to get into it as a pro, you start to realize as a business, you start to see kind of other people from the past, older fighters. I've always kind of been aware of it because I've seen older fighters who are punch drunk and stuff, and it's something that I never want to experience. And in my boxing style would never let me experience it because how I actually fight. But I would never let him go into it just because there's always that risk.
Absolutely. I mean, like there's other ways and means of being competitive and making your money and making your
100%.
living. And like the thing is,
Much easier ways.
yeah,
Much easier ways.
very much so, very much so. I know a lot of boxers that have tried to make it and have fallen short and have had a lot of hardship along the way. Like, do you think like when you're young you feel absolutely unbeatable? Like when I was young, I never felt like anything could ever slow me down. And as you get a little bit older into your mid-20s, into your late 20s, you start to feel humanity's cold hand a little bit more, don't you?
Definitely. I'm 28 now. I've been boxing 21 years, so I've been boxing basically all my life.
Wow.
And yeah, you're right. When you're younger, you do feel invincible, but as you get older, you start to say, "Listen, I'm not invincible, so I got to be more cute, more smart, and pick the fights, pick your battles at the right time." Um, but yeah, listen, I know I'm unbeatable as a boxer, but as a human, you start to realize, what life is about, and when you have kids and stuff, you start to realize what it really is about, and what you're doing for. I'm I'm boxing to give my kids a better life than I had. And
Uh,
even though I had a good life, I'm not saying I had a bad life, but I want them to have an even better life than me and better opportunities than me. I come from West Belfast, which is a very poverty-stricken area, which is an area which is heavily affected by suicide and mental health. And obviously, when you go back into the troubles and all that, kind of feeds into what's actually happening now in terms of mental health. Um, so, like, I've seen an awful lot. I've experienced an awful lot coming from that area, and the fact that my kids don't have to grow up there, I've kind of got myself away from where I grew up, and I have give them better opportunities that I had. So that's what I'm happy about. That's what I'm doing boxing for, is to give them a better opportunity.
that's what we do anything for, is just to give ourselves a better period of life. Like, but at the same time, like you're giving a while lot back to West Belfast, and I've seen that as well, especially through the Feile, like the Falls
Yeah,
Park gigs. Like I didn't make it back to them. Like I've made it to a couple of your fights, like, but I didn't make it to that one.
yeah,
I remember watching it on TV, and like I just got goosebumps watching a hometown fighter come back and play. Like our box. Sorry, I'm so used to
yeah.
interviewing musicians.
No, it's still the same kind of thing. It's a performer, and to
Yeah,
come back and perform in your kind of back garden, so to say, like the Falls Park, where my ma lives now. I live in Kennedy Street in West Belfast, but my lives in the Glen Road now, which is just right beside the park. Um, and it's actually 2 minutes. It's like 2 minute walk. She's living 2 minute walk from the park. So when the festival is on in the park, they just sit in their garden and listen to the music because there's no need to go anywhere. They're at the festival in their own garden. So the fact that it was there, somewhere I've grew up, somewhere I've messed about and got up to no good. I'm not gonna be honest. I got to no good loads of times. I had a few fights in that park where I didn't get paid,
that's what I was
and
gonna
then
say.
I was
Because those sort of parks when you're like about 11, 12 to 30, 14, whatever. Especially in
yeah.
like West Belfast, it was the same down in Oma. Whatever park was going, there was mischief to be had in it, and it must
Ah,
be really weird walking out there, lights in your eyes, and just thinking, Jesus, I got up to that down there.
I know, no, it was crazy. I was driving in a car around the park and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Sorry for cursing, but I was just like, what the hell is going on? I'm driving in a car around the Falls Park and I could hear Sweet Caroline all playing. And I was like, oh, this is real. This is happening. Let's go. As soon as I got stepped into the car, that kind of, because I was in a different change room. I was in a change room around there, a bit indoor kind of. And once I got out of the car, I was like, I'm home. I'm home, and when I stood on the stage, there was no nerves, there was no nothing. I was just like, I'm home. I'm gonna enjoy every minute of this.
Is it an ambition to go back and do that again? Can it be repeated or can it be bigger?
It was going to be bigger this year. It
Oh
was
no,
going to be bigger.
don't tell me that. And
Well, we're looking around 16,000 this year, and that was
what was
10,000
the last
last
one?
year.
Wow.
10. So if that was 10, could you imagine what 16 would look like? My God, scary. It would be scary.
Yeah.
And with coronavirus and stuff, maybe it's going to affect it. Who knows? Either way, though, look, it is what it is. It's out of my control, so there is no point in the whole world of me worrying about it, because if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But if I can make it happen, yes, brilliant. But if I can't make it happen because of this, so be it.
Listen, you've got time on your side when it comes to doing that. If it means putting it back by a year, if it means the World Championship coming a little bit later down the line, as
Yeah,
long, do you know what I mean? It's still in your eyes, right?
definitely, 100%. It's still going to be there next year if it doesn't happen this year. We can maybe push it back a month, which could be a possibility, which would be fantastic. And it's just a special feeling, doing that for my city, the West Belfast. It's really really special to do it. So if I could do it again this year, and even do it again next year at the same time, we'll do it every single year. Let's just keep it going as long as I'm fighting, and then when I'm finished, let the next guy take over. The next West Belfast man take over, whether it's Sean McComb or Tommy McCarthy or Tyrone McKenna, whoever it may be. Um, it'd be fantastic. So it's a great event for the whole of West Belfast. But if it's not happening the next year, so be it. If the world title is going to be a bit further down the line, so be it.